Okay, this is water change Wednesday, and I did a 50% water change in this 10 gallon. That's where my substrate is Fluval strata for plants and shrimp, and I have cherry shrimp in here, and I added the guppies that I got from Sheila at Life with Pets. They are the Dumbo ear mosaic guppy, and I have babies in here. So they had probably about 15. You can see some image of fry in the middle of this tank. I see about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I see about 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There's probably about 25 babies in here because they hide really well against the black substrate. But I want you to also see some of my cherry shrimp. They are juveniles growing out from Gina Tucker Aquariums. She brought me some cherry shrimp in her visit in July, and they were juveniles and they've grown out. She brought me 10, and I have about 6 of them that grew to adulthood. So that's more than that's 60%. So I'm pleased with that. Of course, I have lots of ram's horse snails, and I don't know why the camera is not focusing, and it never does when you need it to. But you can see the fry here in the middle of the screen. Maybe, maybe not. But they're beautiful guppies. And I also am going to show you the 25 that is now housing my beautiful angels, and they are cleaning off the terracotta pot in preparation for a spawn. I also have some corridors in here, juvenile corridors, and you may catch a glimpse of one. I have some catappa leaves in here that are dissolving, you know, naturally. Most of this is plastic plants, but I have some guppy grass and a piece of bacopa at the top floating right here. I think I saw a Java fern somewhere floating around, and of course a plastic plant that broke loose from its base and it's floating at the top. But my angels are getting ready for a spawn, and I'm excited. And I can't tell if the camera's focusing or not because my glasses need to be changed. I fed them some bug bites, and it's new to them, so they kind of picked at it. They didn't really act like they really liked them right now, but I know it'll grow on them. New foods for cichlids sometimes can be picky. So if you will hang in there, I'm going to get up out of the floor and come over to my other guppy tanks. Sorry for any problems viewing. I'm trying to get some video uploaded. This is my downstairs fish room. This tank needs some topping off because of evaporation. I did a water change last week, so these are well-established tanks, so I do water changes about every 2 weeks on them now. My anubias in the middle has bloomed, and I've had that plant for about a year, which means the nutrients in the tank are adequate for the plant. They are slow growing plants. I have guppy grass, I have anubias, I have Java ferns, I have chain swords, and I do not know what that pretty lacy plant is floating at the top, mixed with the guppy grass that I got from Kyle at Kyle's Wild World. This is my mutt snakeskin, cobra skin tank. It has right now some orange snake skins, some yellow snake skins, some green snake skin males. I have a breeding trio of peppered corydoras and a juvenile growing out, so there's 4 of them in there now. Oh, I do have a couple neon tetras left from a school of about 10 I had for about 2 years. I'm thinking about getting some more. They've been through everything. They've been through an episode, 2 episodes of Camelanus worms. They've been through high nitrates, high ammonia. They're just tough little fishies. Over here are my half moon mosaics that I got from guppies that I got from the Fish Nerd, and I started out with 3 guppies, juvenile male and 2 females. One of the original females are still living, and I believe that is her at the top. She's about 3 inches long. Her caudal fin is probably 1 3/4 inches or 1.5 inches in diameter. She is a large fish. Here are some of her daughters and her sons. I've lost the breeding male. And the females continue to carry the half moon trait. The males have gone into a veil tail. Very few of the males have the half moon. I do have some yellow half moon males, but the red has pretty much become a beautiful veil tail. I also have some breeding corydoras in here, and lots of little babies growing out. Probably about 3 or 4 juveniles. Yeah, I apologize, my voice is a little raspy. Must be due to some sinus drainage, sorry. And then over to my 55. My 55 has 2 mystery snails in it. There's one of them. I have 3 corydoras, which are hard to see because they blend in with the substrate. I wanted to let you know that peppered corydoras darken up according to their substrate. They are lighter colored in lighter substrate, and they become almost black in darker substrate. This 55 has a mixture of live plants and plastic, mainly for out of sight, out of mind purposes, to keep the hostility and aggression down between these gouramis. I do believe they've all turned into males as they've grown. There's the Moonlight, the Gold, and the Opaline. And the Paradise Fish, when I got it from Gina Tucker, was only about 1.5 inches long. Well, now he's probably going on 3 and 4 inches, and his girth is probably 1.5 inches. He's grown quite a bit, and I do think I have all males. Oh, there's Henry coming over to the camera. Henry is the yo-yo loach that I acquired from CJ Black. He is so animated. He'll eat just about anything, and I drop in a few bladder snails and ram's horn snails daily for him as a treat. He swims with everyone. I have swords, I have Java fern, I have vows, I have that beautiful Anubias in the middle that's finally recovering from the angels laying eggs on it constantly. It's got a little algae on it. I leave this curtain open so the tank has some wall algae on it that I kind of let grow for the snails. Got some activity going on back here. Yeah, I just fed them. So we've got flakes and bug bites. I do not think I have a female Corridora in here, so I will eventually be adding one of the female juveniles into this tank for some spawning activity. I have a little guppy grass floating around in here too. There's the Paradise. And the Moonlight gourami. Here comes the Gold gourami. These two don't fuss. The Moonlight gourami has always been the peacemaker, but the Gold gourami and the Opaline gourami, they fuss. They argue over territory, and sorry for the dimming, but I do have more algae on this tank now because my husband and I changed the fluorescent bulbs out. Before they had the purple hue to them, which I assumed was a UV bulb, and when we changed it out, we just changed it to natural daylight. So, but these guys are so beautiful. They're large. They're probably going on 5 and 6 inches in length. And this is a piece of Mopani wood and 2 pieces of lava rock. I do have some Kotapa leaves in there as well, stuck in the plastic plants. The long plants in the back are live. Those are the vows. You see some of them, if it will not darken on me. That plant there, I don't know what it is. I think it's some kind of sword, but I'm not sure. I tried planting it even with weights, and it keeps getting uprooted in this sand substrate. So I might need to plant it in a pot and stick it back down in here. But there's another little small anubias that I got from Green Oasis Farms. This is half of the large anubias in the 5-gallon upstairs that my son-in-law gave me. And if you will go with me, underneath the 55 is a 3-gallon tub that I have set up with an air stone, a heater, and lights on the hood, on the top. And this houses the 5 or 6 little angelfish fry that are growing out. And it has a juvenile Corridora in the corner and 1 ram's horn snail. I do have duckweed and sylvania floating, and I do have an anubias that's mounted to a seashell. And the plants are to help with the ammonia and nitrate levels. And these fry are from spawn number 9. The angelfish have spawned probably twice after that. So what they're getting ready to do now is spawn number 12. But anyway, that's the update in my fish tanks in my downstairs fish room. I now have 5 tanks down here because I brought one of the 10 gallons down. And I hope you've enjoyed it. This is Susan for SLC Aquatics.